much. It's always nice to be in Kingston. We come down here because you have the best Indian restaurant in North America. We come down here because my favorite niece and nephew live here. And we come down here for your amazing book sales at the market. But I think in the future we're going to come down here for two other reasons. One, the amazing music you guys make. Whoa. I so admire the quality of the people that you elect to represent you. I'd like to just begin with a little bit of putting this thing in a bit of historical context. I just turned 71, so historical context is mainly what I do now. It's hard to remember much else. But you know, this country is noted for its inventing, peacekeeping, and so many other things that we've done in the world. But you know, the real record of Canada is the record of immigration and how we all got here. And when you look at that, you go back to the end of the Second World War, we provided a home for 160,000 people who were displaced by the war. Some of us here are old enough to remember the Hungarians. They were crushed by the Russians. We took in 37,000, the second largest group that ever went anywhere. We then rescued the Czechs that were crushed again by the Russians. We went off to Uganda and brought home 5,000 or 7,000 people who were being kicked out of the dictator of that country. We intervened in Chile and Argentina and all over Latin America over the years, provided homelands and safe haven for people here. And of course, in 1979, led by the finest, in Diva Baker's words, the finest woman to ever walk the streets of Kingston, Flora McDonald. One of the greatest women this country has ever produced, and a guy by the name of Ron Hartling, who was the Minister of Immigration of the Joe Clark government, that came to power at the end of May 1979. Flora fought the battle at the international level, at the national level, and at the local level, that led to our opening up our doors to 60,000 Indo-Chinese refugees. 60,000. I remember when I heard the news and was told we were going to coordinate it, I couldn't stand up straight for 3 days because I was so shocked and put down by the burden of the whole thing. And the number was shocking enough. But then Flora went off to Geneva to tell everybody, to tell the world, shocked them too. The High Commission for Refugees was stunned by the number. But the second shock we got, she arrives back home on the 23rd of July, 1979. And the word comes down to us civil bureaucrats at the bottom of the food chain saying, I didn't mean we start next month. I mean we start this month, now. And an air crew up at Trenton was pulled out of bed early in the morning and went off and made 11 flights and brought 2,000 people in. So that Flores insisted, no, not tomorrow, now, after 7 people, we start moving them now. And happily, our friend Ron's colleagues and mine in Hong Kong have been working quite diligently that summer. But I'll tell you, they had to hustle to come up with 2,000 refugees in the period of 27 days to get that movement going. And in that 27 days while we were bringing them in from Hong Kong at Flores' insistence, we redesigned the entire immigration system because the system we had was like a little garden hose. And to move 60,000 people, we needed a fire hose. So it took us about a month to design it. And we designed everything from the documentation to the front end to how people would get the sponsors. And that was done in 30 days. So when people say it takes a long time to get these things set up, not when you got Flora, but the wits you can above it. You can actually move along quite smartly. We moved 60,000 people from 70 camps, at least one in the West, got them up to 4,500 sponsoring groups across the country. The sponsors took 32,000 of the 60,000, and we did it all in 18 months. And we did it without computers, without internet, without cell phones, without any of the tech. Everything was done by paper or telegram. And we moved that many people. So when people tell you, oh, it's very difficult, it really is difficult. But we did it 45 years ago, and as Lifeline Syria keeps telling us, we did it before, we can do it again. There's no doubt about it. Now, I know full well that Kingston played a big role in that, because you can't walk down the streets of this town without bumping into Cambodian restaurants. You have more Cambodian restaurants than any city this side of Mount Hen. Really quite amazing. And it's really important for us to remember, as we are a bit frustrated at this stage because of the speed with which things have not moved, that in 1986, the United Nations High Commission for Refugees gave to the people of Canada, not to the government of Canada, not to some high-flying charity in February, but to us, the people, the Nancy Medal, which is the equivalent of the Nobel Prize for refugee affairs. We are the only nation that has ever received that honor. We did it before, we can sure as hell do it again. There has been some movement in Ottawa in the last couple of weeks, as you probably heard. There were 2 serious blockages in the system that really made things almost impossible. The first was that if you guys decided to form a sponsorship group, you would not only have to know the name of the refugee, which is pretty hard to get from here. I know we've got one group that's coming in, of all those people out there, who do you choose? So they proposed that on you, but you would also have to go and get from the Turks or the UNHCR a certificate saying that person is a real refugee. So how the Sam heck could we be expected to do that? And even if we could find the person we wanted and say, go get the certificate, the UN High Commission for Refugees out there is stretched to the limit with the burden of this enormous group, 4 million refugees spread over 5 or 6 countries, and many of them moving as we've seen to Europe. How did they, why would they take the time away from keeping those people alive to send us a certificate? But that's gone.